Hi guys, it's Marcia with Lighthouse HR. This is Friday on Car Loop, so please excuse my casual attire. I do want to give you some food for thought for the weekend though. And I normally like to do videos for either employees and then management, employees and business owners, but this one I want to do it together because this affects all of you, and it is good for you to see how, put yourself in the shoes of the other and understand how things work. So I had a great conversation today with a lady that wants to ask for a raise but doesn't know how to. And it's easy to answer that question, but I wanted to dig a little bit deeper first and find out, number one, what the job function is. Number two, try to do a benchmark on my own. I have a tool where I can benchmark and find out, if the person is in the right range or not. I also wanted to find out how long they had been there. And I also wanted to know why she was not happy about her pay, or if something had happened, because normally there's something underlying that goes on in there. So, what had happened was that she did notice, or she did find out, that they were hiring people. She had been there around 3 years, and they were hiring people at a way higher rate than where she was. And so obviously this affects your morale. So what I want to touch on here is, it's twofold. And I'll tell you how to ask for that raise, but also what I want to tell you in the defense of the business owner is, a lot of times the business owner just forgets. You're working on your business and then you're working in your business. And a lot of times maybe someone else is doing your payroll. You don't remember how much you started paying somebody. Your company all of a sudden grows, and then you don't know exactly what everybody makes. So, to my business owners, go and do inventory of your pay scales of all your employees. See where they are. See what you're starting someone at. When you start pay for a new hire, make sure that everybody else in your team that you have a range where you are playing with that pay for your employees. Normally what I do with my clients is, we have levels, and so you have some basic job duties that you need to be able to, number one, learn, and then number two, master. And so each one of those levels of skill will put you at different levels of pay. So, and I know a lot of people that are all over the place, completely disorganized. So try to organize yourself that way. And actually right now is a great time to run inventory and look at the pay scales in your company, in your business. See what everybody is making, because remember, minimum wage is going to $10 an hour effective September 30th. So this is a good time for you to look at everybody across the board, make sure that everybody is paid fair, make sure that you're not, like I said, all over the place with your pay scales. So that was my tidbit of advice for the employer. And like I said to my employees, in the employer's defense, in the business owner's defense, a lot of times they just don't know. So it is your responsibility to ask for your raise. And just as it is your responsibility, I always compare relationships, like relationships at home, work relationships, home relationships. If you want something done, you need to ask for it. Nobody is going to guess for you. Nobody is going to, well, but you should have thought about it. Well, maybe I didn't think about it. So if you have a need, you need to be able to come forward and talk about it. If you need tools to do your job, if you need whatever it is that you need for your job for your performance to be successful, you should be able to ask for it. I know the ideal leader, the ideal manager is going to ask you, what can I give you to make you successful? So that is great. But if they don't ask, you need to use your words and talk about it. So my number one tip for when you're asking for the raise is, don't wait until you're angry. Like, don't wait until you're pissed off, because this is what happens. What happens is you find out that somebody's making more money than you, and they're brand new, and you've been here for however long, and you bust your butt all day, and you never say no, and so hear all those things, you all of a sudden you start building a story in your thoughts, and that is the story that you're going to stick with, and that is the story that you're going to believe, and that is a story that is going to guide your emotions and your feelings. And so by the time you're ready to come and ask for a raise, you got your gloves on and you're ready to fight, and you're coming defensive. So my number one suggestion for you is do not wait until you are angry. What you need to do is also always remove the emotion from it, think objectively, and find out, number one, from your area. You can you can go on LinkedIn, you can go on Monster, you can go on any job board and type in your same job title and find out how much other people are paid in the area and make an average out of that. You know, so like, I mean, you're not going to look, if you're in Pasco, you're not going to look at Tampa jobs because obviously those pay a little bit more. But if you're looking at this area over here, you can find a good idea on what these positions are paying. So be objective and do some research before you jump, right? And before you jump to conclusions. So find out, number one, if in fact you are under. Okay, I got cut off. I'm so sorry. So number one, for the person requesting or wanting to request pay raise, yes, number one, make sure that you in fact are underpaid. So again, you are going to remove the emotion from all of this. You are going to be proactive also in your job duties, in your job title, in what you do. And when you present this to your manager, you are going to bring you're pretty much going to bring a case for yourself. So you are going to talk about your duties, what you do, how long you have been working for the company, how many raises have you had since you started working for the company, and what does the market look out there right in your region, right in your area. And that is where you're going to start. And again, it doesn't have to be emotional, it doesn't have to be painful. It is what it is. You need to be able to ask for your own raise. So and going also on the other side for the manager, you know, again, like I said before, it would be wonderful if you were proactive and you were looking at everybody's pay and you knew where everybody is at, so that you don't have to have those situations. Because what happens is that the person is uncomfortable. I don't know why, but we are uncomfortable talking about money. Business owners are uncomfortable talking about pricing, putting pricing to their, to their trade, to their talents. They're uncomfortable talking about pay increases. And also, then we are uncomfortable as employees asking for money. So again, if you are not sure where to start, if you don't know where to evaluate what your position should be making, then go ahead and give me a call. I'd be happy to talk to you. I talked to this girl and we just had a conversation. I gave her a few pointers and, helped her put together a conversation to have with her supervisor. So after you have this conversation, always, and this is where HR mama comes in, make sure that you write this stuff down. Make sure that you write an email. Make sure that you send, however you communicate with your manager, with your supervisor, put it in writing and recap your meeting and talk about, once again, what it is that you are looking for. And another thing that I have to tell you is when you're asking for a raise, you should be able to ask for the raise that you're expecting. So again, let's not make this a guessing game. If you feel like you're $2 underpaid, if you feel like you're $3 underpaid, then again, you need to make your case for it and you need to bring that forward. And you need to say, I am right now at this much per hour. I need to be at this much per hour. And one more thing, when you put your case together, is if you can somehow quantify what you bring in numbers to the company, that will help your manager, your business owner understand better where you're coming from with these numbers to how you need to be paid. So if you can quantify your productivity at work, what you do at work, if you can convert that into numbers, that is even better for you to be able to bring this to your manager. So This is what I have, guys. I know I went almost 10 minutes with this, but this is important and this is good for the weekend. Don't let this, if you are in this position, don't let this stress you out. Think about an action plan. Remove, again, your emotion from this. Be as objective as possible and have adult conversations and use your words and tell people exactly what it is that you need. And if you're a manager and you feel that your person is not producing the way that they think they're producing, and if you feel like they're not where they don't, that raise is not warranted, then you also need to be able to put this and explain it to them and in a way that they understand. This is where you are, and this is where I need you to be. And when you get to this place, I am going to give you that raise. But again, use conversations where you all have a place to start and where to go and a plan of action so that everybody agrees on something, rather than blurting out, you don't deserve a raise, I just gave you a raise, how much do you want to make? Like, because somehow we get defensive talking about money and we shouldn't. So let's just all be adults and let's all do research. Let's all put emotions aside and talk objectively about money. All right. You all have a great weekend. I'm here to help. Thank you.